Hey guys, so big disclaimer before I continue with this video. This video is not meant to discourage people from, going to college or anything like that. I just want to put my opinion out there. So let's get into the video. So guys, I'm going to talk about something a little controversial, but something that a lot of people have talked about. The American school system and why it sucks. It's one of the worst school systems ever. I mean, the only one I can think that's worse is probably China. But I mean, oh, actually, no, not China, South Korea. But I mean, South Korea. And yeah, let's get into why the American school system sucks. So I'm gonna go over a few points on why I dislike it. Number 1, it teaches you things that should be optional and things that don't really affect your life. Now, when you think of school, the schools always tell you, oh, you go to school so you can learn things that you can apply in your life, right? But then you learn stuff like calculus. Or, hell, even exponential equations. Who's going to use that? Or, how about, I don't know, like graphs. Unless you work in specific fields where those would be necessary, like being a mathematician, a scientist, or a businessman, those things are not very important. And, statistically, one of the most common jobs is being an office worker, or whatever you want to call that, where you just work at a desk and you do stuff on the computer. That is the most common form of work. But I do understand why those things are taught, except calculus. Why is calculus taught? That should be really optional, because it's calculus. Do you think anyone wants to learn calculus? In some schools it's optional, but not every school. And for the higher schools, the ones that are for the really smart kids, calculus is not optional, which makes it just really annoying and uninteresting to do calculus, because you don't want to do it, because it's like the worst thing ever. Then you got my second point here. They really just they grade grades. Grades in general are bad. Okay, here. They cause so many problems. Like, they're one of the worst things ever. Now, depending on where you are, grades are different. But for me, in America, grades are A, B, C, D, F. A being the highest, B, C, D, and F. And then F being the lowest. Right? And grades are one of the worst things about school. They just put so much pressure on you, because you gotta get those high grades. But here's the problem. I have met people who have gotten like D's and F's all on their grades, and they still got to the next grade and the next grade. So, what is the point of grades if you're just gonna let kids continue, if they can pass a test or two? I don't understand. Why not make grades something important? Like, the only way to get held back is all F's, which is literally impossible, because every person is good at something. So you're just basically giving free promotion. Now, I'm not against, making it easier for kids to pass into the next grade, but when it's, like, in primary school, but when it gets to, like, middle school and that starts happening, what? That's something weird I've always noticed. Like, why, though? Why would you do that? It makes absolutely no sense. Why would you do that? So it just makes it so that kids, especially me, are lazy. And speaking of lazy, the GATE program, my third biggest flaw, or my pet peeve with the school system. The GATE program is so dumb. You don't understand. So basically, it works for primary school, but when you get to later grades, it does not work. So basically, what is the GATE program? Well, it is the Gifted and Talented, what's the E for? The Gifted and Talent Enrichment Program. That's what it is. And it's basically, here's smart kids, we separate them from the smart kids, or from the dumb kids, basically. That's basically what they do. They're like, you're smart, you're dumb, smart kids, get over here, dumb kids, you're dumb. But let's talk about, so when you get classified as a GATE student, to do that, you have to do a test, which is like, not that hard. It's like really easy. Like you just have to answer, it's all multiple choice. Like the entire test is multiple choice. And you can take it at any grade you want. And so basically then they, if you're, then you can get higher grades, you move into different classes where, higher expectations. So, you got to do some more work, do some higher stuff. It's not too bad when it's in primary school because, again, that stuff is easy. And, yeah, you really don't need to do anything. Because I literally got in the GATE program 4th grade. 5th grade and 6th grade were, like, super easy. The hardest part of 5th and 6th grade was the fact that I had to sign my planner. So the planner was like, you would write, there was like days of the week, and you would write down what work you had, and then your parents had to sign it. That was the hardest part, because I always forgot. But me being lazy aside, and forgetful aside, it's really not too important when you're in primary school because, okay, you get harder work. It's simple. But when you start getting into the higher grade levels, that's where the problem is. Because I'm in 8th grade right now. And 7th grade was relatively easy, not too much more work. Again, the stuff was harder. But now I'm in 8th grade, and I am bombarded with work. It's just tons of work, and it's super stressful. And I gotta keep a good grade, because my parents, or specifically my dad, wants me to be fucking Ash Ketchum, being the very best that no one ever was. And I have to get high grades, or else I'm basically a failure. And he takes away all my stuff. And that puts a lot of pressure on me, and I can feel, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can feel the same, where their parents put pressure on them, and then they get stuff taken away, or they get punished for not getting good grades. Or they have to stop hanging out with their friends, because their parents think that their friends are the problem, which is actually pretty common. And it's really sad. It is, it's very sad, and I can't believe that some parents would even do that. Why? Why would you do that? And then you got me. I got that pressure. And pressure is what a lot of GATE students feel. Unless you're goddamn Albert Einstein II, it's pressure. Or you're one of the super smart kids, which I am not. I just got into the GATE program by somehow, like a lot of those questions on that multiple choice, I really just guessed. But now, since I'm one of the smart kids, I gotta be smart. But then when you get put in a class with other bunch of smart kids, you just feel average again. So it doesn't make you feel special. Because in primary school, you're special, but you're not anymore. And then it makes it more difficult for you to catch up with the other kids, because they're probably smarter than you. So it just puts tons of pressure on you to just exert more and more and more and more and more on yourself. And it sucks. So, yeah. That's what I gotta say. So I hope you guys kind of, cheer up after this video. This was more of a kind of sad tone video. I know I always sound sad, but this was more of a sad tone video, so go watch a happy video. But, if you want to leave something in the comments about your bad experiences with the school, I would appreciate them down below. I have tons of bad experiences with the schools, so I'll probably make a video about that. I'll see you in the next one.